I've seen one analysis that shows that DOE will spend at least $150 billion over the next 5 years, maybe significantly more. In your budget request, you use the term equity 137 times. President Biden issued an executive order directing the federal government to spend money that is, quote, consistent with applicable law to allocate resources to address the historic failure to invest sufficiently, justly, and equally in underserved communities, unquote. You have been directed to spend $150 billion by Congress. Will you provide to this committee the specific applicable law passed by Congress that allows these dollars to be spent in a manner to address the historic failure to invest sufficiently, justly, and equally in underserved communities?
One of the laws is through the Inflation Reduction Act. There is a low-income adder that allows for, it's an additional incentive, a 10% incentive for those who are building out solar, for example, facilities to locate in communities that have been disproportionately affected, perhaps by negatively by pollution, or have been a disadvantaged community economically.
DOE's Justice 40 initiative requires 40% of spending to go towards disadvantaged communities. Can you provide me with a specific applicable law passed by Congress that allows such a massive quota system?
It is a goal. It's Justice 40, that 40% should be directed to communities that have been left behind, that have not had the benefit of the investments that other communities have. So we are trying to achieve that goal, and part of that is through community benefit agreements associated with the grants that we are providing under the bipartisan infrastructure law. We want those who are investing to be able to consult with communities to make sure that there is a workforce strategy.
So you say it's in the infrastructure law?
Infrastructure law and the
language.
Inflation Reduction Act both provide incentives for locating facilities in disadvantaged communities.
Madam Secretary, you, I think, already know that I'm sponsoring a bill, Save Our Stoves, Gas Stoves Act. So far, we have 55 co-sponsors, and it has bipartisan support. And 29 of my Democratic colleagues voted for a similar amendment. In fact, it was the same language on H.R. 1 to save our gas stoves. I wrote a letter with 70 other members and submitted our comments for the record on your rulemaking that would ban gas stoves and effectively ban gas stoves in America. I think it's unfortunate that we have to introduce a bill to reverse an unnecessary anti-consumer choice rule by Department of Energy. On DOE's website, it states, it claims that the federal government is banning gas stoves are absurd. Yet, here are the facts that I know. DOE's first approach was to set a requirement of the proposed rule at max tech requirements, which DOE itself said would eliminate 96% of the products available today.
They did it, friends. The House of Representatives has just elected the next House Speaker. So with a Speaker in place, the House will finally be able to advance new legislation. Government funding is set to expire in just a few weeks, and many lawmakers are now discussing what should be removed and what should be included in the next spending bill. My dearest friends, please do me a big favor and watch until the end of this video to hear about all of the details. Also, to say thank you for being part of this community. Every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway of $75. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the weekly giveaways. Today, Republican Mike Johnson of Louisiana was elected Speaker of the House, winning the top job in a party line vote and ending a standoff that had stretched on for more than 3 weeks. In the floor vote, Mike Johnson won the support of all 220 Republicans who cast a ballot, while all 209 Democrats present voted for their leader, Hakeem Jeffries of New York. Due to 4 absences in the chamber, Mike Johnson needed 215 votes to become Speaker. Delivering his first speech as the 56th Speaker of the House, Johnson vowed to rebuild and restore the trust of the American people, which he acknowledged had been damaged by the chaos of recent weeks. Johnson stated, "We want our allies around the world to know that this body of lawmakers is reporting again to our duty stations. The People's House is back in business." In a statement congratulating Johnson on his victory, President Biden pledged to work with House Republicans in good faith on behalf of the American people. Biden said, "Even though we have real disagreements about important issues, there should be a mutual effort to find common ground wherever we can. This is a time for all of us to act responsibly and to put the good of the American people and the everyday priorities of all American families above any partisanship." Johnson won House Republican Speaker nomination on Tuesday evening, just hours after Tom Emmer of Minnesota, the majority whip, withdrew from the race. Defeating Byron Donalds of Florida after 3 rounds of voting, Johnson became the House Republicans' 4th Speaker nominee in 3 weeks. An internal roll call vote, taken after Johnson's nomination, showed no opposition to his speakership bid. In the hours leading up to the floor vote, several House Republicans who had opposed previous Speaker nominees indicated they would support Johnson, paving the way for his victory. Johnson's election brings an end to the standoff that began earlier this month, when 8 House Republicans joined Democrats to oust former Speaker Kevin McCarthy of California. Without a House Speaker in place, the House has been unable to advance any legislation. Even though the House is now open, Johnson's challenges in uniting his deeply divided conference may just be the beginning. Government funding is set to expire in less than 1 month, and Johnson risks causing a federal shutdown unless he can convince fellow Republicans to back a stopgap funding measure. So friends, what are your thoughts on the new House Speaker? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. The Senate has already struck a deal on 3 bipartisan government funding bills, allowing lawmakers to move forward on legislation that the chamber has been working to advance on the floor since last month. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer announced a long-awaited deal on amendments, teeing up more than 3 dozen amendments for consideration in the coming days, and final passage of the trio of bills, better known as a minibus. The package would provide funding for military construction and the Department of Veterans Affairs, Agriculture, Transportation, and Housing and Urban Development. Senate Republican Susan Collins told reporters late last week that lawmakers were closing in on a deal on the minibus after Chuck Schumer worked out a deal with Senator John Kennedy to allow a vote on an amendment. Susan Collins added that she and Murray were working out on other items before a deal could be clinched. One Senate GOP aide said it related to Democrats wanting to change the threshold level of one of the GOP amendments included from a simple majority to 60 votes. The move comes just over 3 weeks before the government funding is set to expire on November 17th, and as lawmakers look to avoid a massive omnibus package before Christmas. Well, my magnificent and most marvelous friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. My dear friends, thank you very much for being part of this community. To say thank you, I will be announcing several winners every Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, all you need to do is click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Thank you, and have a wonderful and very blessed week.